Welcome back to Living East Tennessee. I am joined here by Buddy Clay with New Hope Healthcare. Thanks so much for being here, Buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Well, we were talking before, when thinking about your business, you guys really touch on two important factors that I think we see across East Tennessee, but also nationally.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what you all do?
Yeah, so we're a dually licensed program here. We do outpatient treatment for mental health and substance use. So, it's not always just the substance use, but a lot of times the mental health is really strong as well too. So we try to touch on both of those and offer those services to people who are struggling with the substances, or whether it's depression, anxiety, PTSD, whatever it may be. There's a lot that we can work on, and so we have different levels of care, whether it's 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, or 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, where we can try to meet someone where they're at, especially someone who might be on the fence a little bit. We could ease into it. So that's kind of our services.
Definitely. And I feel like especially within these last few years,
Yes.
COVID really brought up the topic of mental health. How important is taking care of your mental health to you, and what does it mean to be able to have someone there to help you with it?
Yeah, so COVID definitely brought it to the limelight. They talk about it being the unspoken pandemic, something that we still don't touch on enough, where the mental health, people losing their jobs, people who are just struggling to pay their bills, and it takes a toll. I mean, no one's immune to it. I tell all the people in our program, I'm not immune to it. There's nights where anxiety just hits me, and I'm sitting there and my thoughts are racing and just struggling with different things. So it's important to really touch on those things and understand that it's not, you're not an outcast if you struggle mentally. If you're struggling with substances or mental health, there's help out there, and you don't have to be at rock bottom to get to that point.
Oh yeah, definitely. Great advice there. And speaking of advice, when thinking about substance abuse, there's almost anyone knows someone who is dealing with substance abuse, and it sometimes can be hard, especially when you're sitting back watching the person you love or truly care about be there, and you don't really know how to interact or what to do, or how to say they need help without offending them. Do you have any advice on what to do when it comes to situations like those?
Yeah, and I'm glad you touched on that too, because the stigma is getting better for sure. Like you said, mostly everyone nowadays, someone who's in treatment. You watch TV shows, there might be an episode with an AA meeting, which people normally wouldn't know what's going on. So it's definitely getting better. We're not there yet by any means, but if you know someone who's struggling, just meet them in the middle. It's just being that ear. You don't have to try to fix their problems, because you probably can't. They need to get there on their own, and the way they'll get there is usually by someone who's caring for them. Not saying, get out of my life, you're a mess up, I don't want you near my family because you're abusing whatever substance it is, but rather say, I'm here for you, whatever you need from me. Let's talk about it, let's figure it out, and then maybe they'll get to the point where you can point them in the direction of going to a treatment center somewhere.
For sure. And for some people, whether it's mental health or substance abuse, they might not have people looking out for them. They might just make the decision themselves to show up at your door, essentially. If someone were to do that, how would you guys kind of take their hand and move forward?
Yeah, so our facility in general, we're an outpatient, so our business hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You, in theory, could walk to our door and say, hey, I need help, which has actually happened a few times, which is awesome, because you need a lot of courage to do that. But if you go online, wherever you're living, you say, treatment centers near me, something might pop up on Google, and you could say, there's a number, I'll call it. And the first step is just getting on the phone. Our admissions team is awesome. They'll walk you through steps. They'll walk you through the process. It won't be judgmental by any means, but just, again, being a lending ear.
Yeah, definitely. And, to get into something like this, I feel like you have to be passionate. I have to ask, what inspired you to be able to help people going through mental health or substance abuse?
You certainly do, and you could burn out quickly if you're not passionate about it too. It's hard to do something like this when you don't care for it. I personally struggle with some mental health stuff right now, but the main reason I got into it was just I have family who went through addiction, and I've seen both sides of it. People are still struggling, and then the ones who overcame it. And those who overcome it are the reasons why I'm doing this now. Seeing family come back and, have that relationship with them, seeing them healthy, thinking clearly, all of that is just what I strive for every day. And, it's the goal for every client in our care, just to see that switch where they are struggling, and all of a sudden they're like, I got it now. I want this. And seeing that progression is just amazing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, it's like a happy ending almost, but it's still, there's so much more to the story there, for sure. And where can people go to learn more information?
Yeah, you can go to our website, which is newhopehealthtn.com. On there, you'll find all the different programs that we offer, different tracks we have. There's just different treatment modalities we have, and then they go there and they could fill out an application or call our admissions team.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much, Buddy.
You're very welcome.
It was a pleasure speaking with you. All right. Well, we still have